Alrighty, y'all, it's your boy Zxous, y'all. I have no webcam again today. It's not that I don't have a webcam, it's just it's in maintenance, right? It's not getting upgraded or anything like that. It's just broken. It's not broken, but it's broken in a sense, right? Sorry for the lack of uploads. I'm not even gonna lie, I haven't even been playing Nikke. It's been quite hectic the last couple of days, and this week is only gonna get more hectic over here in my house. Nothing too bad or nothing bad at all, realistically, just a lot of like appointments and stuff like that has to be handled and stuff like that. So I do apologize for the lack of uploads over the weekend, right? You know, even just in general this month, I think I've been uploading like one video a month or one video a day, and that even I don't want to be uploading one video a day, but it's very hard to upload content on Nikke, especially 2 a day. I think if I'm gonna upload twice a day, I would literally have to start uploading another game. But I'm not gonna force myself to upload another game if I don't like that game, right? I just quit Timing and Squad, for anybody wondering, because the game is just garbage. Like, you can be a gooner, sure, the game is garbage. But today we're going to be talking about the 5 characters that have aged like fine wine, right? The top 5 long-lasting characters of Nikke. I was gonna do updated teams, and I'll probably still do that sometime this week, but I'm like, okay, I want to talk about this actually, because there's a lot of characters, surprisingly, that I would say age like fine wine. So now that we got all that stuff out the way, again, sorry for the webcam, subscribe and like, and let's talk about it. All right, so at number 5, we have Scarlet Black Shadow. She is, I believe, officially 2 years old now. She's coming up on her 3rd anniversary next year, 2027, January 1st. And I think Scarlet Black Shadow is one of those characters I would consider to age like fine wine, right? I think if Nikke's 3 years old and, you know, this character is 2 years old and she's still one of the best characters, like I would have this character probably in my top 10 still. It's a bit questionable. I have to really do this top 10 list again, because we're just getting so many new characters and so many broken, powerful characters. It's very hard to keep track at this point of like who's actually in the top 10 and who's not in the top 10, right? But I think Scarlet Black Shadow is still one of the best characters in the game. She's obviously top 3 strongest wing characters in the game. And then probably I would still say she's probably top 5 overall DPS in the game, right? I don't really think there's anything that's wrong with this character. Definitely nothing wrong with this character. And obviously another thing is this character kind of has been getting buffed, right? She's a distributed damage based character, so anytime we get like these distributed damage buffers like Mast or any of those characters, she's getting buffed from that, right? The character is really good against bosses, she's really good against AoEs, and it's so crazy because her kit is realistically, this is all she does. This is it, right? After a certain amount of attack, she'll just do damage, right? But when you use her burst skill, she gets quite the buff for that damage, and that's why she's just so powerful. She's pretty good in PvP, very good in PvE. There's really no wrong with this character. And is this character going to fall off? I don't know, because my thing is, Wind, out of all the classes in this game, Wind got the most buffs, right? They got the most heaviest characters, like, and this character is not cracking at all. So I think this Scarlet probably has 2, guaranteed 2, maybe 3 more years max, but after that then I will probably start to see a little fall down for her, right? But that's just my estimation or my little guess when it comes to this character, okay? So that's who I have at 5. At 4, I have Red Hood. Now, a lot of you guys think I hate Red Hood for some god-awful reason. I really don't. I just speak facts when it comes to this character. She's not a top 10, and you guys don't like that. But I still think this character is a phenomenal character. I think she's probably in the top 20, right? Even top 15, she might be in there, right? But I think this character is still very, very good, right? Obviously, if we're talking about in an overall setting, she is one of the best PvP characters in the game still. Her burst 1, 2, and 3, like, that was her whole gimmick, that she's the first ever burst, whatever burst this is supposed to be, all burst characters. Until this day, she's the only character who is like this, right? She's the only character who has this icon. We're going into our 4th anniversary, by the way, and there has never been a single character from when Red Hood dropped up until this day that got this icon. But obviously, as time went by, we realized that Red Hood, this icon, this being able to be a burst 1, 2, and 3 character, isn't as crazy as we initially thought. Well, it's not that it's not as crazy, but if like we let reality hit us, it's not as crazy. Like, let's be for real. You're not using Red Hood as a burst 1, 2, and 3. It's impossible. You're using her as a burst 1 or a burst 3. And we're now in a meta where 40-second burst 1 characters, no matter how good they are, just not cutting it. So you're 9.9 times out of 10 using Red Hood as a burst 3 on your team, and that's just the reality. It's great that she has the burst 1, it's great that she has the burst 2 effect, it's great that she is a multiple burst character, right? It really is great, but the reality of the situation is this character is only going to be used as one of the 3, and that is most likely going to be the burst 3. I think the reason why this character is so good still is because she does do damage. It's not anything near a lot of the other characters in the game, but she still does do crazy damage, and the pierce effect makes her very useful in a lot of different content, right? So Red Hood is a character that is obviously falling off, right? I think out of all the characters on this list, there's another character on this list who's falling off just a tad bit, but it's still good in my opinion. I think out of all the characters on this list though, this character is the only one that you're actually seeing falling down, like possibly with every couple updates, right? Because it's really not hard to surpass her. The reason why Red Hood was good was because her burst 1 and burst 3 were very, very, very powerful. And back in the days, that mattered. Nowadays, with the new type of content, the new type of era we are in with Nikke, we're only using Red Hood as a burst 3. And if we're only looking at this character as a burst 3, it's not enough when it comes to damage compared to a lot of the other characters in the game, in my opinion at least, right? So, but I would say this is definitely top 5 long-lasting characters. She's still great, she's still meta. I'd still say Red Hood is like a go-to pick for a lot of people, let's be for real, right? But I would say she's meta. 3 years, by the way, she's coming up on 3 years. 3 years old, that's crazy. Her and Scarlet, Black Shadow, both of them are coming up on 3 years. Isn't that crazy? Oh my god. At 3 we have Litter, one of the characters that this is probably, there's another character in here who's, you know, very long lasting, but this character came out with the release of the game. Now I wouldn't say Litter is a bad character, but the problem with Litter nowadays is just that the other characters in front of her are way too good, and it kind of goes to show of a night and day difference, right? I would say the burst ones above Litter right now is Little Mermaid, and I would also say Moran, right? Favorite item Moran. Those are the only 2 characters that are actually burst 1 characters that I would say are above Litter, right? The thing is, Rappy Red Hood is another character who is a burst 3 character, but you can use her as a burst 1, and if we are using her as a burst 1, she's also leagues above Litter, right? So Litter, I guess I'm never gonna call it Litter, I know that's her name, but I'm gonna call it Litter. So when it comes to this character, the biggest problem with her is there's not really a problem with her, it's just that the characters above her are just 10 times better. That's just the reality of the situation, right? But if we're talking about actual overall burst 1s, I probably still have her in my top 3. She's still very, very good, right? If you look at her kit, it looks like there's absolutely nothing, right? I think obviously this right here, the 56 attack buff, 56% attack buff at level 7, is still very good, but for 5 seconds, come on, we need to make, there's characters who average 15 seconds with their buffs nowadays. So 5 seconds is definitely not enough to cut it. Let's just be for real. It's not enough to cut it. And that's just the truth, right? But her skill 2 is still one of the best skills in the game, right? Affects 2 allies with the lowest remaining HP cover. She just heals their cover HP, right? Until this day, she is, I think, one of the only characters in the game, if not still the only character in the game, who actually just recovers cover HP like this, right? I think everybody else has like some type of funny gimmick to, behind it, or it's just a bit different. Hers is just a flat out 42% heal. Mine is level 6, by the way. At level 10, I think it's like over 50%, but her skill 2 is just flat out percent. Like if you're missing 42% cover, she just heals that. Like it's just that simple, right? And then she has cooldown reduction. Why? And that's the biggest reason of why she's still very useful, right? The cooldown reduction with the cover HP recovery, right? But Litter was lasting very, very long. She's been in the meta for quite, like literally she was in every meta up until Little Mermaid dropped. Let's be for real. This character was in every single meta until Little Mermaid dropped. Then when Little Mermaid dropped, that's when this character, like, you know, because burst 1, you're only using one burst 1, unless you're doing solo raid or union raid where you need multiple teams. But other than that, you're only doing, like, you know what I'm saying, you're only using one burst 1. And this character, she just got nuked by Little Mermaid. It's unfortunate. So I would say she is the third, like, best long-lasting character in the game. Surprisingly, there's a character that a lot of you guys are not going to be happy about, and that's just because I think she fell off completely. But the original Scarlet, maybe she's an honorable mention, OG Scarlet, but I just don't think she's that useful. And like, sure, she's good in PvP still to an extent. Not to an extent, she's still good in PvP, but like, that's it. But in our second place, we have Alice, a character I'd never used myself. But the Alice is still one of the strongest characters in the game, and she came out at the beginning of the game. The only problem with Alice, if we are being realistic, is just the way you have to play with her, right? The way they want you to play with her to get this crazy damage you guys been seeing from her is like this. You have to play like this with her, right? You have to literally play like this, and it's just not, it's not something I can do, but I just find like having to do this with her in battle to get insane damage comical. Right, especially since she's a sniper. They want you to shoot like she's an AR or machine gun, and she's a sniper. It's a bit difficult to get off. I mean, at least for me it is, but we're not gonna act like Alice isn't one of the best characters in, oh, I wouldn't say she's, I hope she's still top 20. She probably might not even make the cut there, to be honest, if we're talking about overall. But the character is really good. Her charge speed becomes way too fast, attack buff just for free. Right, she just heals up to 80% when she falls below that, and then when she's over 80%, she has pierce permanently, like just permanently. And then again, if she dips below 80%, she can just heal back up to 80%. It's quite the character. For a 2022 start of the game release character, quite the character. Not to mention, she is a free character. They ended up giving her for free. You can get her through the bonus recruit from the standard banner, or just the Alice Diary event, and from that you are able to get her 10-10-10. You're able to fully give her a collection item. You're able to give her overload gear. Like, the character is completely free for you, right? The only problem with her is that you have to play like this. I mean, in my opinion, that's the only problem, right? But her and Litter, especially Alice, these are characters who are, I would say, the only two characters from 2022 that didn't get a favorite item or didn't get a major buff or anything like that, that I would still say are relevant in today's meta, right? The only other one you can argue to an extent is, like, realistically OG Scarlet, but then again, I like, let's be for real, I don't even have OG Scarlet in my top 20, bro. Let's just be for real. Let's just be for real. But yeah, I think Alice definitely is one of those long-lasting characters. And then drum roll please for the one everybody should expect, Crown. The top, like, this is crazy. Crown is a character who came out 6 months after Red Hood. She is about to have her 2-year anniversary, by the way. Yeah, next month she's about to have her 2-year anniversary, and it's just so crazy to me that this character has not dropped at all. At all. She's dropped maybe 1 or 2 rankings, and that's still controversial. Like, I would say everybody could agree Scarlet Black Shadow is probably still top 10, but she's fallen from where she used to be, right? People still have Crown as their number 1. People still have Crown as their number 2. Me personally, I think Crown is the 4th best character in the game. I have Red Hood, Rappy number 1. I have Rappy number 1, Snow White number 2. No, I have Little Mermaid number 2, Snow White number 3, and then Crown number 4. That's what I have, right? But everybody's going to flux and like change that up between these characters. This character is genuinely the craziest character like Nikke's ever released. I'm sorry. She was a generational character and still is a generational character. She literally changed the meta. The meta changed because of her. This was the character that when she dropped, characters, like players, were beating every content with no trouble because she just gives way too much. An insane attack damage buff for 15 seconds, an insane attack buff for 15 seconds, whoever used their burst skill, an insane additional attack damage buff if she gets healed. The character did it all. She taunt for 5 seconds and it was invulnerable for 5 seconds. HP potency increase galore, defense and reload speed buff to all allies. This character, a shield that nullifies major blows. This character is generational. this character will not fall off for at least another 3 years. Minimum, unless the anniversary character coming up like surpasses her. But even Nayuta couldn't do that, and she was a main anniversary. This is a half anniversary character. Nayuta couldn't even surpass this character, and she's a main anniversary. Nayuta was a main anniversary character. Crown is going to probably be the longest reigning lasting character in Nikke, and that's scary. The fact that she's been nothing lower than top 5 since she's released is crazy. Red Hood, Litter, Alice, these are all characters. Even Scarlet Black Shadow, some people might not even have her in the top 10 anymore. All 4 of those characters you guys see before are like, you know, people argue if they're in the top 10 or not. This character, they're guaranteed in the top 10. Everybody's putting her in the top 10, guaranteed. Crown is a different beast. And for anybody wondering who is this, because somebody said this is a niece, this is Crown. This is the same character. I just have her gotcha costume skin, right? But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree? Is there anybody in this game that you guys would say is top 5 longest reigning characters? Like, I would have had obviously someone like Helm at this point, but Helmet got a favorite item. Like, I don't think anybody who got a favorite item should be considered because they're new, right? A favorite item is a whole new kit basically, and I don't think anybody else, rupee, dollar, nope, none of these, volume, nope, none of these characters really last like those characters. So let me know what you guys think about my top 5 longest lasting characters of Nikke, and if you have your own, share down below in the comments. But it's your boy Zxous. Again, I'm gonna try to have my webcam ready for you guys by tomorrow. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. I'm out later. Peace.